talking about and working on what we are announcing here today. And today is truly a day to celebrate, a day when law enforcement and our schools joined forces to open doors of safety and hope and opportunity for every single child within our community. Together, we are proving that when we stand united, we can change lives and build a brighter future for all. I'm honored to announce that we are launching a pilot of Handle with Care, which is a nationally recognized partnership between law enforcement and education right here in our own community in collaboration with the Huntington School District and the Sheriff's Office. More than a decade ago, this program began in West Virginia, and it has since inspired communities across the nation. Here's how it works. When law enforcement responds to a home and children are present, officers record the children's addresses and schools and immediately send a Handle with Care notice to their school district. Picture this. The sheriff's office answers a call where a family is facing eviction or domestic violence. Officers protect and stabilize the situation, but children, they witness everything. This program ensures that when those children walk into class the next day, perhaps without finished homework, or perhaps carrying heavy emotions, teachers and staff are ready. Instead of discipline, those students receive compassion and timely support. So who benefits? For schools, it means no child slips through the cracks. Administrators and teachers can quickly engage counselors, social workers, and community partners to meet the needs the moment they arrive without relying on hindsight or on rumors. For law enforcement, many of whom are parents themselves, it offers peace of mind. Officers no longer leave a difficult scene worrying what will happen to the children that they just met. They know their schools are standing guard with care and with understanding. And most importantly, our children benefit. We all remember the collective strain of recent years, a youth mental health crisis we saw even before COVID, magnified by the pandemic's isolation, loss, and economic stress. Some children endured unimaginable trauma, whether from illness, substance abuse in the home, or even violence behind closed doors. Though the pandemic has eased, its echoes remain. Our answer must be to love, to support, and create a coordinated safety net that meets the needs of every child where they are. That is why today fills me with pride and such hope. By piloting Handle with Care in Huntington, we are weaving a stronger fabric for protection and compassion for every single family. My vision is that one day this program will reach every law enforcement agency in Suffolk and Nassau counties, across the 62 counties in New York State, and ultimately in every school district in our nation. I will always fight to bring resources that lift up our families and nurture our children. Today, we celebrate a powerful partnership, law enforcement and schools standing shoulder to shoulder to create brighter, safer futures for every single child. Together, we are proving that when a community leads with care, every single child can thrive. And I am so pleased now to introduce my dear friend and an extraordinary leader, Dr. Errol Toulon Jr., our sheriff in Suffolk County.
Good morning, and thank you, Legislator Sanin, for your advocacy for our children here in Suffolk County. The Suffolk County Sheriff's Office is proud to partner with the Huntington School District on this pilot program. I want to give a special thanks again to Legislator Sanin, not only for bringing this idea, but really to making sure our children are safe. Our deputy sheriffs interact with children in a variety of situations during civil actions, while serving warrants, during traffic stops, and also at community events. While we work to have a positive interaction with the youth, it's unavoidable that sometimes it can be a stressful or even a traumatic situation, like an eviction, a family member being arrested, or an order of protection being issued. These experiences can impact children at school. A child may act out in class, struggle to concentrate, or fall behind on their homework because of what they're going through at home. This program gives us a simple, confidential way to support those children. If a deputy has an interaction with the child, we can notify the school with the Handle with Care alert. The form is only 4 questions and takes deputies just a minute to complete. No specific details of the incident are shared. The only message the select school officials will receive is that this child may need some extra patience and compassion. The only goal of the program is to allow educators to respond appropriately when the child is struggling because of circumstances beyond their control. While we are beginning this as a small pilot in Huntington, my hope is that we can expand it across Suffolk County, building stronger connections between law enforcement, schools, and families, and most importantly, ensuring that children are supported with care. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Errol Toulon Jr., our extraordinary sheriff.
Microphone.
I always has to be brought back down. I'm so happy now to introduce the fantastic, amazing superintendent of schools here in the Huntington School District, Beth McCoy.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this important announcement. I want to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to our partners in the Sheriff's Office, our local legislators, Bob Vecchio, Executive Director, Nassau-Suffolk School Boards, Lars Clemenson, New York State Council of School Superintendents, immediate past president and superintendent of Hampton Bays School District, and our Board of Education for their unwavering support of our students and families. Today, we are proud to formally announce a partnership that truly puts children first, the Handle with Care initiative. This board-approved initiative represents a meaningful step forward in how we, as a school district, respond to the needs of our students who may have experienced trauma outside of school hours. When a child is exposed to a significant event involving law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office will now send us a simple notification. It doesn't include details, names, or specifics about what occurred. It simply says, handle with care. And that's exactly what we will do. We are not here to ask questions. We are here to offer compassion, understanding, and extra support. This is about being trauma-informed, about recognizing that sometimes a student may just need a little bit more patience, a little more space, and a little more kindness that day. We know that children don't leave their experiences at the door when they come into our schools. And when we can meet them with empathy and awareness, even without knowing all the details, we can make a powerful difference in their day and in their healing. This initiative also strengthens the connections between our schools, law enforcement, and families. It reflects a shared commitment to protecting not just the physical safety of our students, but their emotional well-being as well. I want to thank Sheriff Errol Toulon and the entire Sheriff's Office for their leadership and willingness to think holistically about community safety, as well as Suffolk County Legislator Rebecca Sanin for suggesting this partnership with the Huntington Union Free School District. I also want to acknowledge the Huntington Union Free School District Board of Education, Central Office Cabinet, and Administrative Team, especially our Director of Safety and Security, Mr. Jared Stein, and Deputy Superintendent, Mr. Chris Hender, for their support in getting this initiative off the ground. Lastly, I would like to thank our amazing Huntington educators and school staff who show up every day ready to support students and who will now be even better equipped to do so through this program. Together, we are creating a system of care that recognizes the whole child. And together, we are building a more responsive, more compassionate, and more connected community. Thank you.
I'm now pleased to bring up my friend and the leader of the Huntington School District Board of Education, Xavier Palacios.
Good morning. Today, the board is pleased to announce our partnership with the Sheriff's Office and the community leaders to implement the Handle with Care initiative. This board-approved program prioritizes the emotional safety and well-being of our students by ensuring that when a child has been exposed to a potentially traumatic event outside of school, our staff receives a brief notification, Handle with Care. This notice contains no details or identifying information, only a prompt for compassion and support. Why does this matter to children? Well, it protects emotional safety, for one. It ensures that students who arrive at schools after a difficult event are met with patience, calm, and understanding rather than added stress. Reduces harm and disruption. Small adjustments by teachers and staff, extra time, gentle redirection, or reduced academic pressure can prevent escalation and help the children remain engaged. Supports learning and resilience. When children feel feel seen and supported, they are better able to focus, learn, and recover. Trauma-informed responses fosters long-term social and academic success. Strengthening continuity of care, the partnership creates a respectful, coordinated bridge between public safety, families, and schools so students get consistent, appropriate support during vulnerable moments. The board thanks Sheriff Errol Toulon and Legislator Rebecca Sanin for helping to create a more compassionate, responsive system for our children. This initiative reflects our commitment to recognizing the whole child and to making our schools places of safety, healing, and learning. We look forward to monitoring these outcomes and continue to work with partners to ensure every student receives the support they need to thrive.
Thank you so much. I'm now happy to bring up a regional leader, Bob Vecchio, the head of the Nassau-Suffolk School Board Association.
Good morning. What a wonderful day. Trauma-informed care in schools. It's not just about academic success. We know when a child's tired or hungry, they don't learn. If mental wellness is not there, they're not learning as well. I want to thank the sheriff for his bold, visionary leadership on this issue. And I also want to thank Lars Clemenson, who piloted this program in Hampton Bays last year. You'll hear more about that in a second. But I want to thank Legislator Rebecca Sanin. It was a conversation about 3.5 years ago over coffee when she wasn't even a legislator that we first started talking about this. Legislator Sanin has cared about the health and welfare of families and children long before she was a legislator. When she heard about this program, and if you know Rebecca, you know once she gets a hold of something, she never lets it go. She was all in. And it's due to her leadership and her coordination of bringing people together and facilitating conversations that made today possible here in Huntington, just like it was made possible out in Hampton Bays last year. We want to see this replicated all over because if a kid experiences trauma, the sooner you intervene, the better you can solve the issues as opposed to waiting and letting it go untreated years later, and then the problems manifest themselves in ways we can't even imagine. So I want to thank the leadership of Rebecca Sanin and the sheriff for bringing today possible. I also want to thank the Board of Education here in Huntington. Bold step, thinking outside the box, together with the governance team with their superintendent, Beth McCoy. It's a great day. We look forward to seeing the success here in Huntington like we're seeing out in Hampton Bays and Southampton Town, and success elsewhere in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And now I'm pleased to bring up immediate past president of the New York State Council of Superintendents, my friend Lars Clemenson.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to join you today. Congratulations to Sheriff Toulon, Legislator Sanin, and the Huntington School District Board of Education, and Superintendent McCoy. Bob did say it best. 3.5 years ago, it was an idea that Rebecca brought to a group of superintendents and said, what do you think about this? And when you have partners in law enforcement like the sheriff, Southampton Town Police Chief Jimmy Kiernan, who lead with yes and say, yes, that's a great idea. How do we make that happen? Then you've got the right people in the room. Now, this is important on many levels, as you've heard. Handle with Care can begin this afternoon when one of the sheriff's remarkable deputies around Suffolk County responds to what might be one of the worst days of a family's life. And that will make sure that the school, perhaps this Finley Middle School right behind us, is ready to receive that student tomorrow with a little additional care, more than the tremendous amount of care that our teachers and staff give to students every single day. But what does it do in the long term? Adverse childhood experiences are trauma scores, and ACE scores are like your golf score. The lower the score, the better it is for your future. The higher the score, the more risk you will face in your life. And there's tremendous eye-opening research that shows that the more adverse childhood experiences that a child is exposed to over the course of their life leads to greater dependency on the social networks in society, greater health challenges, financial challenges, food insecurity, housing insecurity, and more. We might not always be able to prevent an ACE from happening, as the sheriff said, but through a partnership with law enforcement, the sheriff's office, the town of Southampton police, we can mitigate it so that tomorrow students are protected, and their long-term future and the potential that they have in our classrooms and beyond is also protected. In my role as immediate past president in New York State of our Council of School Superintendents, I have the catbird seat to be able to partner and work with programs like this with the hope that Legislator Sanin said that this becomes a scalable model in the region, Suffolk and Nassau County, and across New York State. And that's where we're working towards immediately. Huntington, Hampton Bays, today and tomorrow, New York State as we move forward for all students in New York State. Thank you.
Thank you. So you've heard from incredible speakers. Today's launch of this pilot program is more than a program. It's a promise kept to our children and to our community. By uniting law enforcement in our schools, we are building a safety net, as you've heard today, that catches children at their most vulnerable moments, ensuring that trauma is met with understanding, resources, and compassion. This collaboration means that no child has to carry yesterday's crisis into today's classroom alone. It's a powerful step toward the kind of community where every child is seen, supported, and given the chance to thrive. I always pledge to deliver initiatives that strengthen families and uplift our neighborhoods, and this pilot is another example of turning that commitment into action. Handle with Care reflects the best of who we are, neighbors who stand together for the well-being of every single young person. Together, we're proving that when we lead with care, we shape a brighter, safer future for Huntington and set an example for communities across our county, across our state, and across our country. So I want to thank all of you for coming here today. I want to thank the extraordinary partners behind me for making today possible. And I want to open it up for the press to ask questions of any of our speakers here today. Are there any questions?
Yes, what's the follow-up? So the first day the kids maybe been, let's say, evicted. What happens the second day? Does the social worker from the school come in? So who follows up?
Sure, why don't I let Superintendent McCoy answer that?
We're not provided with the details of what exactly occurred. We're just provided that something occurred. So we are keeping an eye on our students. If they don't have their homework, understanding that, asking them, are you okay? But not investigating a matter, because that's not what the goal of the program is. It's really to provide additional compassion, empathy, and support if needed. It opens the communication between the student and the teacher. If the student says something happened, then we are able to have that conversation, but we don't know exactly what took place, and the goal is to really provide sympathy, compassion, and care for the student.
Right, and so when you look across the country, there are times when law enforcement responds to a house and there isn't a traumatic event and a child is okay and they come to school and the teacher assesses and everything is fine. And then other times you're seeing behavioral issues, you're seeing missed homework, you're seeing other behaviors, and it offers the opportunity for that compassion that the superintendent just spoke about, which can open the conversation and then bring in needed resources, so that if a child needs connection to a social worker or to a community agency to provide ongoing support, there's that opportunity to do so. One of the things that I heard a lot about a couple of years ago was superintendents reading in the paper that there was something that happened. There was a fire, there was something that happened in their township, and then trying to figure out, did that affect a child in my district? Are there resources I could bring to bear? And wasting time in that space. This takes away that wasted time so that there can be that interaction, there can be that engagement, and resources can be deployed.
This involves only the sheriff's department, not the police.
Right now, we're piloting with the sheriff's department. I hope that ultimately we are able to expand to Suffolk County Police Department and every district across the county and, as I said, the state. What's really helpful is the sheriff responds to very specific things in the home. So we're able to pilot this program, work out any kinks, make sure it's really successful. And then my hope is that it expands to all law enforcement agencies, because it's a win-win for kids, for schools, and for our law enforcement personnel.
And by only, I don't mean only.
Yes. Of course. Other questions? All right. Thank you all so much for being here today. Have a wonderful afternoon.
For the media, we're going to have an opportunity. One of the deputy sheriffs is going to show in his vehicle how he puts in the report and how the B-roll or
Yep, I got your car.
Sign.
Squeeze it a little bit. Good one. That was it the other day.
yeah.
You want to go in front of the podium?
No, we'll just move it out of the way real quick.
And you want that?
All right, they're taking pictures for a minute, but I want to show you guys what the deputy sheriff is going to show us in the car. That's very cool about the information that they take when they, and that they're provided when they do a stop or a warrant. To me, this makes a lot of sense. You know, we run the neighborhood watch for the last 10 years, and when the sheriff responds, it's not like a 911 usually. They know they're going there in advance because it's like, you know, a warrant or an eviction or things like that. It's not like one of those things where it's on the spur. So this makes sense to me why the sheriff is the best, you know, is a great environment to target and pilot this program right now, and then work out the kinks like they said, and then prepare it for a wider usage with other law enforcement across the state for 911. Let's talk to Xavier while we wait. Up. How are you? How are you? I wanted to grab Xavier.
April, like the first day that it's nice to go outside and play with the
All right, we're just kind of waiting for everybody.
Go away!
This is awesome. Oh, here's Sheriff Toulon. Let's see what he says to Newsday.
We just never hear in person.
So just please spell your name. I know.
Sure. First name is Errol, E-R-R-O-L. Last name is Toulon, I have allergies. T as in Thomas, O-U-L-O-N Jr.
How often is the sheriff's office ready to what is this type of partnership?
So there are many situations, unfortunately. It could be a warrant, an order of protection, an eviction, an ERPO, where we engage with families that have, you know, their young children involved. So it's really important to have a program like this where we're not telling the school district what occurred, but we are telling them that their child was involved in a potential traumatic situation and to handle with care.
And what type of difference do you think this will make in a student's life?
You know, I think from our transference of information to the school district will be very important, where a child will feel a little bit more attention, feel very important, and maybe be able to speak to a professional about what's going on in their life or their feelings, so it's not built up and comes out and manifests in a different way at a different time.
And I guess two more things. Does the alert get sent out electronically, and is it extra time for your officers, like extra resources?
So it's really not that difficult. It gets sent out immediately, but it's only 4 questions that would take our deputy sheriffs about 1 to 2 minutes to complete. So it's really going to be fast.
And does it come to with any additional cost?
So there's no additional cost other than that 1 to 2 minutes of time for a deputy sheriff to complete the form and have it sent to the school district.
And how are they receiving the news on deputy sheriff? Happy, excited?
Well, you know, anything that we can do to protect our children, and I think my office understands when they see the plaque in my office that says my goal is to get to the kids before they get to me, that we're able to help children in a different way.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would like to know, like, for the kids' sake, you know, when this alert goes out, what if their parents, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do they protect the kids more? You know, yeah.
Well, there's no name. It's just the address. So the school district has to link the address to a school in there, right? So we're not giving a name. We're not giving what occurred. You know, it's really just something happened in the home, and that child needs to be handled with care.
Thank you so much.
So is every address you're just going to send, or only when a child is there? Like when
only when a child is there.
Child is present.
Right. When we see a child present,
Yeah.
In a move, whether it's an eviction,
Yeah.
ERPO, order of protection, we will then alert the school district.
Yeah, and I felt like, you know, June Margolin, Huntington Matters, we've run the neighborhood watch here in the town of Huntington for 10 years, and I feel like your office is the perfect place to start this pilot, because you usually know in advance that you're going there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you already kind of know, and as opposed to responding to 911 calls, and so I think this is great to work the kinks out. So do you are you providing this in the Hamptons that they were saying?
No,
or
James Kiernan is providing for Southampton
Got it.
School District.
Awesome, awesome. So this is really exciting. How long of a pilot do you think before you guys are going to reevaluate and look to expand it to other districts?
I think in about 6 months to a year, we'll speak with Legislator Sanin, the school superintendent, and see what they want to do. Anything that we may need to change, things that we may be seeing, trends, and we'll evaluate it and then move forward.
I love that. And then part of this I feel like is great for the kids because they're embarrassed.
Right.
They're aware of what happened and they know immediately something's different for them compared to their peers.
Exactly.
And I think this is great.
Yes.
I think this is really, really great and very impactful.
It's just a small step forward with a new initiative that can only help and not hurt.
Yeah, it's treating the whole child.
Exactly.
Yeah, love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Pleasure.
Okay. Thank you. And I want to see the car.
Oh, I'll take you.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're doing it? Okay. Not to demand that I want to get into a sheriff's car, but I do. Oh, he's in there already. All right, great.
Yeah, we can do it separate.
Oh, great. Okay.
Or we can also do it, yeah. What were you doing?
Yeah, I want to do
Literally
a video
takes
of it.
5 seconds.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. Yeah,
That's
you'll see.
awesome. And you are?
Vicky, I'm the public information officer for the sheriff's office.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. All right, we're going to get a sneak peek in here in a minute. So you get to see the computer, which is the brains of the Sheriff's Department's operations.
Right. So very good.
Just give us a minute. We'll have our turn in a second. I know you guys are waiting patiently. Thank you.
All right. Once again.
What are you doing? You doing a demo?
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Thank you, Rebecca. So while we're waiting for our turn, so 3 years ago, so did this come to your attention?
Doing research, recognizing what kids were going through with COVID-19 and the trauma they were facing, doing research on what national models we could bring to Long Island. And then, have been doing the work talking with superintendents for quite some time.
Yeah.
And then the sheriff's office and bringing together the superintendent of Huntington and saying, let's do a pilot.
Yeah.
Let's work out any challenges that exist and then let's get this expanded so we can mitigate trauma for kids.
I think it's great.
Every child deserves a bright future.
Yeah.
And trauma can be that thing that makes it really hard for them to get there. So we want to do everything we can to reduce that.
And then this helps our school districts treat the whole child.
Treat the whole child.
And the whole family.
And recognize that sometimes there are points in intervention where if you get a child what they need, their future can be tremendously bright and we can reduce any other risks and ill effects of some of the challenges.
Definitely. And as a parent, we know if something like this happened in our own homes or with our kids, they would be embarrassed. They know that they're different when they go to school immediately because of some.
And that can show up in different ways because behavior is a language. So sometimes it could be not doing homework. Other times it could be being behavioral. Other times it could be going inward and being really quiet.
Yes.
And it gives the school district a heads up so they can respond appropriately and get that child everything.
Yeah, that's great. And I like that it's the address and not the kids' names.
Yep, absolutely.
So a little more work for the school district, but not much.
I love my mic in
They
there.
could figure
I love
it
my
out.
mic in there. There's my mic. All right, thanks.
All right, great. All right. Hello. We are live streaming.
Thank you.
Hello,
Hello.
Deputy. So what are we looking at here?
So it's one of our tablets, all right? So we'll have the Handle Care program on our tablets over here. You just click the link here. Bring it up over here.
Great.
Huntington School
I don't know if
District.
you guys can see.
Put our mock address in there.
So it's 4 questions, right?
Yep.
It's the school district, the address.
Just doing a mock address right now.
Sure. And then one underneath
And then
is
the complaint number is
number.
that's our basically
Okay.
within the sheriff's office our job number.
Their job
Right.
number, okay. And then it's check boxes of the incident type. There's 4 check boxes. One says domestic violence, the other says
Family
family
arrest.
arrest.
Family
one
death
says-
or other situation.
What is that?
All right.
Family death.
Family
Okay.
death, and then we'll submit it.
other, and then submit. So
Yep.
like an eviction would be another or
Yep.
something like that.
Mhm.
Awesome.
An eviction, maybe you're doing CPR, something happened at a
Oh,
family
yeah.
event, right? Somebody collapsed.
Definitely. So, we were talking to the undersheriff. You guys, I feel like this is a great start for the pilot because you already know kind of in advance most of the time when you're going to somebody's house.
Yes, we do.
So
Yeah.
it's, you can.
We aren't armed in a court, so a lot of stuff we do is court ordered stuff. So it's you got to do it.
Right,
So a lot of times kids are unfortunately involved.
right.
One
And
which
as
way or the
opposed
other.
to sheriff's departments and really the rest of the country, mostly the sheriffs in the rest of the country do all law enforcement.
Yes.
all 911 calls. And we have a very different model here, but works great for us.
Yes,
So
it does.
excellent. Thanks so much.
Thank you very
we
much.
look forward to hearing the update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then I just want to grab Pam's talking to Xavier. I wanted to grab Xavier. And then where's is she the superintendent? McCoy, right?
Yes, I have it.
I think she left already, right?
Name is McCoy. Yep.
Oh yeah, okay, great. And yeah, Pam's talking to him down there. So how are you? I left my bag and my water and everything in a pile. Why wouldn't I? All right, so I guess that's it.
Thank you guys for covering.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us. Thanks,
Yeah.
neighbors. This is really cool. And once again, Huntington leading the county in innovation, especially in the law enforcement and education space, which is what we're known for. And yet another thing that I predict will go nationwide, definitely. Thanks a lot, guys.